So I want to show you games. Show games as I play with my friends. Yes, this game plays white and my friend is black. I go for e4 and my friends go for e5, knight to f3 and c6. Now I was thinking about the Italian game of I go for the real pass opening, so I bishop to b5, attack my bishop, go back and still training my bishop, go back to c3, b3, sorry. And knight f6 attack my pawn and I castle. Give bishop to e7, and my rook e1 to protect my pawn. He castle, king side. And now I go to c3, ready for d4. He immediately go for d5 counter on the center. I take back with my knight. He take back with his knight. I take the pawn on e5. Knight take on e5, and now rook take e5, attack the knight. And my friend plays c3 to defend, and I go for d4. Get the center with my pawn on d4. So now my friends go for bishop to d7, attack my rook. I go rook e1. And now the slightly queen move to h4, attacking the pawn on h2. I go to g3, attack the queen. It defends the pawn. Queen to h3, and now go rook to e4. Let's go g5, which is the gambit, but I did not accept that. And I go for queen to f1. Offer the queen trade, and he accepts it. And I trade to the queen, and go for the middle game. This point, I think I have a slightly better position because I think the pawn structure is better, and he have an isolated pawn. He have a pawn under attack on the g5 square, and my rook is really well played. Yeah, my friends have a strong light square bishop, that can do many things on the king side. So now in my mind, I was calculated about the move that bishop to f5 take my rook. Yeah, this is move be under my control, and my friend actually play it, bishop to f5. And now I go for f3, defend the rook, and sacrificing my rook to take quick. This is a mistake, and I take back with the pawn, attacking the knight. And now, both knight on d5, on the pawn on g5 is under attack. Or under attack, they cannot defend the pawn at the same time. So that's why they have to go back with the knight and then give up the pawn on the square to h5. The key move of the move rook sacrifice is I trade my knight and my rook for his really strong bishop light square, and then I get back the pawn on the g5 square. This is why they should not take the rook with the bishop. They want to keep it on the board. But now she take with it a mistake, so that's why I'm now counterplay on this game. He was thinking a little bit about where the knight should go, and finally they retreated to the c7 square, and I immediately captured the pawn on g5. Now I'm trying to play the move e5 and trap the bishop. So look how they defend it. Okay, at this point my friends go to the rook to e8. The key is if I play e5, this bishop to e7 offer the bishop trade. That I don't like. And I still cannot play the move e5 because then the knight will come to d5. That is a square that I gave up. And if the knight can go to d5, then it is really hard for me to convert this game. So now I'm thinking about the different way to defend the pawn on the square e4. Now I really want to put the pawn on e5, but I realize that it's a mistake. I cannot do that because the knight will jump for d5, and this is unhappy for me. So I have a little bit struggle this time. Just and finally, I come up with the idea. The right idea, knight to d2, defend the pawn. This is the right idea. Not to put the pawn on e5. Attacking the bishop is knight d2 is the best move. I come up with the right idea in this position. My friends go to the best move, c5. Counterplay on the center with the c pawn. And with the support of the bishop, he can easily counterplay on the center. Now, I realize that the strength of me is, for me, is the d pawn. That's what I cannot trade the pawn for the c pawn. I cannot do that because if it's trade, and then the e pawn no longer have its power. I have to keep the d and the e pawn on the board at the same time. So that's why in the end game, this will become a pass pawn, and I have a chance to promote to a queen. So that's why I cannot trade the pawn for the c pawn. I have to keep both pawn on the board, and at least the e pawn or the d pawn is become a pass pawn. So now I have to think really hard and how I can keep both the pawn on the center of the board. Now I still cannot move I cannot push the pawn to d5 because this will give a chance to my opponent, my friends, to play the move f5. But now I came up with the idea e5, attack the bishop. That means I will give up the d5 square. But I have to do that to keep the pawn, to keep the d pawn on the board. Unless I will lose the d pawn. I think I have to do that. I don't think it's a better move here. My friend got bishop e7 over the bishop trade, and I immediately go for bishop f4. And now she would the move c4, and I go for bishop to c2. And now my d pawn are still on the board, and this will collapse with the e pawn and will become a pass pawn in the future. Now to attack a bishop. At this point, I was thinking about where to move a bishop. I think it's already terrible square. I cannot stay right here. I cannot move to g5. I cannot move to h6 because if bishop h6 and then bishop to f8 offer the trade, and let's go back to g5 and then bishop e7. It's gonna be a draw, right? So I still don't want the bishop to stay here, and then I capture the g pawn take back. But I saw the move bishop to e4, pinning the knight to the row. That's why if he takes my bishop, I take his row. So that's I win a chance, and I have 2 pawns, and I can easily win the game. So that's why he cannot take my bishop, the black square bishop right now. So at this variation of the real pass opening, you can see that the black have the really strong light square bishop. But why? They have a really strong dark square bishop. But my opponent, my friend, he traded the light square bishop for my rook. But now I can trade my weak light square bishop to hit knight, and then keep the strong dark square bishop on the board. So that is my idea. I trade with the knight and the rook take back, and I still keep the dark square bishop on the board, which is control a lot of things on the king side. And then I go for knight e4, centralizing my knight, and some way I will try to go for square f6 to force the rook and the king. But it's very hard to get my knight there. So in this position, if my friend have the light square bishop, I'm losing here. But in this case, he did not have the light square bishop. Instead of that, he had the dark square bishop, which cannot move to any square in the world. Look at this. The bishop, the dark square bishop, is not control any square on the board. The dark square bishop cannot go to anywhere. And my dark square bishop can go to a lot of things on the king side. And then he go for rook to f8. At this point, I really want for go for bishop to g5 and offer the bishop trade, and then my knight can find a way to go for f6 square. So now I really want to chop the bishop, and then I realize that the rook in the same column with the king. So if I play this move, it's very dangerous for me. And then I go for king g2, which is the best move in this situation, because I slow down one move to get my king into the safer square. So that's why I can attack him easily. My friend go for f6 square. And at this point, I knew that it was a mistake. But I didn't know how to take my advantage of this move. I was thinking too much time on thinking how can I capture my advantage of this move. I knew that this is a mistake. Why? Because my e pawn, if the pawn say on the f6 square, f7 square, and my e pawn is not a pass pawn. But now, if he let my pawn go for the e6 square, it will become a pass pawn, thus get training to become a queen. So that's why now I'm really think this it have to be a mistake, it have to be a blunder. But how can I achieve all the mistake that my friend made? How can I do that? I was thinking a long time in this position. How I can achieve this move? How can I turn this mistake into my win? I was thinking too much time on how I can capture the advantage of this move. It have to be winning, because my pawn now can be a pass pawn. It can be pass pawn now, but the problem is I cannot immediately put the pawn, because then the move f5 attack my knight and then close the door, and the rook can slide down and get my pawn easily. So that's why I cannot immediately by e5. I was thinking about how can I go the knight out or do something so I can be able to put the pawn, and now I found it. Bishop to a3 attacking the rook. The only winning move in this position for me to win the game. The bishop to a3 attacks the rook. I found the right idea how to capture an advantage about this move. And I think I'm going to go for a blunder. Rook to f7. It's a blunder. And I found it. e6 and the rook is trapped. The rook is trapped. He cannot go anywhere. And I found it. e6. The key move in this position. And look at me. I grab the queen. I know that I'm winning. I know that I'm going to promote. I grab the queen. I was really confident in this position. I know that I have to be winning here. Have to be winning. I have to win this game. Because I'm up 2 pawns if I take the rook. Now the material is equal. But if I got the rook, I got 2 pawns up, and now this happened. I win back the exchange, and I have 2 pawns on top. And the key is I have the pass pawn. I have the pass pawn on the e6 square. That's why the d pawn is really important. Now the rook have to stay here. If they go, I can push d5, and the e pawn and the d pawn become the pass pawn. And how they can stop it? So the rook have to stay on the d5 square to block my pawn. I still have another pass pawn. e6, 2 more square for motion. And now he attack my knight with the move f5. At this point, I was thinking, oh, wow, there's no square, no good square for my knight to go back. Because if my knight go back, and then rook to d6 attack my pawn. And if rook to e1 defend the pawn, and now queen, and now king to f6 attack the pawn twice. But at this point, at some point, I realized that I don't have to move the knight. Because if f take e4, and then rook to f7 is a fork. And then I play for f4. I don't have to run the knight. And then my friends did not see that, and he think I was blunder. And they can easily capture the knight, and then I play rook to f7. The only move in this position to get back the material. In this position, I have to be winning. My pawn are in the 6th rank. My rook are on the 7th rank. His rook have to stay here forever. And I'll take the bishop. And now he play rook to f6 or f5. Now look at me this position. You know that I found something here. Look at how focused I was on the board. You look that I found something. Look on the board, I found something in this position. Look at my face, I found something here. Do you feel it? I found something here. Look at my face. I could really concentrate on the only part of the board. And the rook sacrifice on the h2 square, but my friend did not take. Instead of that, he put the pawn. If you take, I put on f7 or e7, as he cannot stop the promotion. You take the pawn. So now I still put on f7, and he cannot stop me from promotion. He can take my rook if he won. But I promote to the queen and win the game. At this point, I was said to my friend that he should resign his position, but my friend tried to play to the end of the game. So now he cannot stop the pawn. He checked me, and I go for king g1. It's nothing difficult here for me. And now at this position, he knows that despite although he take my rook, he cannot stop the pawn from promotion to the queen. And now, I think his face is hopeless at this position. He face hopeless. I think, and now he resign. Yes, he stopped the queen and he stopped the clock and resigned the game. Okay, he stopped the clock. And the best thing here, just I play at white, and my accuracy, and I have 92.6 accuracy with the white pieces. And look at the game, I capture on all my opponent mistake, all small mistake, just cost the whole game.